Come over here and kiss me on my hot mouth. I'm feeling romantic.
When it comes to knowing how to play early game Kaiju, it's fairly simple. The instructions are right in front of your face. However, for singular point ANGUIRUS, it takes a bit more comprehension to get your head around.
Chicken!
I suggest you need to keep these basic bullet points in your head while playing this Kaiju. You will die. And you will die. I mean, my record does only say I've only died 68 times compared to the 200 kills I've gained, so, Since singular point ANGUIRUS is such a quote-unquote complicated Kaiju to get behind, as all of his attacks are dashes, let's go over the basics I will set up for you guys and send you off to get squished in every counter you are participating in. To start off, there's 5 moves you want to primarily focus on using. Attack 1, Attack 2, Attack 4, your T-Roar for ego boosting, and your V-Move. These attacks and utilities are all you need for success. The reason why is because your 1 and 2 combo deals 1080 damage with max skill points, meaning it can almost 4-shot a base G19 if you do it right. The problem with this is most Kaijus probably out DPS you before you get the second move in, so you will be taking 500 damage while you're only doing 300 per se. A major flaw in singular point ANGUIRUS' design is how slow it is. For most of its stats it has. Its speed is alright, 35 is not necessarily a bad or game-changing, but it's alright for its level. The attacks also feel like it's a bit too slow as there is a second delay when swapping between moves. Some of the attacks have a long charge-up time for their end result, but I can see most of these a way of balancing the Kaiju. On topic of speed and such, I'm gonna segue into now. Skill points drastically change how you use any Kaiju for a fact. Since you're gifted with 20 skill points, it's a smart choice whether you want to max a certain bar or not. My build for SpAng is a max speed and max damage. These two go hand in hand with each other, as I will explain in the combat section, but for now, the speed complements moving out the way when it comes to other Kaiju's melee moves. Damage needs no explanation as it's a default for every Kaiju in the game. You could lean into health for some speed skill points, but I wouldn't recommend it. A restriction for your skill points is don't waste them on regen. Your charge regen is great as is, and I don't think you need it compared to how slow your attack speed is. Fighting with singular point ANGUIRUS in a one-on-one fight is decent as is. You're fairly equipped with good damage dealing moves, slow DPS, and a quick nimble mindset. To start off with, I recommend fighting Kaijus that are in the green, starting at Gigan and ending at yellow. Red means the Kaiju will absolutely destroy you and counter most of your moves, Kong and Primes especially. Realistically, you can fight whoever you want, but you don't want to damage your ego when you lose to a max monster 0, right? It hurts. When starting a fight, I either recommend using your 1 and 2 combo off the bat or your 4th move. I lean into the 4th move because it's a 600 damage lead right off the bat, even though you may take an equal amount of damage due to the slow tick time. Once engaging in battle, spam your 1 and 2 and evade your enemy as best as your ability. Quick note, singular point ANGUIRUS' hitbox and range is extremely good as your tail, upward hitbox, and left side have a great range. Your upper tail can inflict damage, so when you're using this to your advantage, exit out of shift lock and do a little spin. When in shift lock, just face forward and try to hit the chasing opponent, as well as hoping for the best. Also, try to hit your opponents on your left as your range there is extremely good. To attempt to fight flyers, jumping at the right time as in collaboration with your upward hitbox can damage the opponent quite simply, if they fly too low to the ground. Hit and runs are kind of required for SpAng's mindset as you don't want to take too much damage due to your health being as brittle as a glass window. but yet you can return a heap amount of damage when you return to hit again. This method works fantastically against slow kaijus in general, but not so much the kaiju in the red zone. Your shield's only use I recommend is either countering a Mire Beam or Pulse, since your shield can charge up in enough time compared to the time and power behind Mire's atomic attacks. The second use, well, I guess you could give your friends a free XP, but I wouldn't recommend it or else they'll get shot by Varad. So there you go, that's all you need to know on how to fight. Overall, SpAng is a mixed bag. On one hand, you have a kaiju with very great range as well as great damage output. The other hand is a very fragile and low-ended kaiju who got the short end of the stick from the balancing team. Singular Point Anguirus is a good mix of both sides if used right in the attempt to go up against upper kaiju on the power skill, but this ends up bad for you anytime, anywhere. SpAng was a breeze to get through just because it's being so simplistic yet so complicated to understand. All these things I went over today should be enough for your smooth brain to comprehend. Singular Point Anguirus should be a breeze for you to use for you folks after this video. There were some things I didn't bring up, like how to unlock the kaiju, but I'm pretty sure there's like thousands of videos on that topic, so I guess you could just go watch those after this and then learn how to play it. Alright, that's all for the video, so good night, sleep tight, and I'll see you guys later. Like and subscribe, but I don't care.